live in the dungeon. This is the Dream Warrior Review. I'm Kurt Thomas.
I'm Miq Strawn. Despite, can I just say this, that despite the fact that
I don't know why I'm already laughing.
I had no reason that I wanted to see this film.
The Hills Have Eyes.
What?
The director that brought you The Hills Have Eyes, which I've heard you say you liked.
This is the second The Hills Have Eyes. This is not the original.
And then I was hooked by the producer.
Come on.
That's what hooked me. And like,
you know who did the original The Hills Have Eyes, right?
Actually, I don't know. I can't think of the name right now.
Oh, look,
I should look it up, I guess.
I
have this tool in front of me.
Yeah, I have this tool in front of me.
And I also have a computer sitting next to him.
Yeah. Wow, that was cold. It was Wes Craven.
Oh, Wes Craven. Yeah. Okay.
So, anyway.
I feel like an idiot now.
No, there you go. You kind of look like one too. So,
should I tell what this is? We saw Crawl.
A young woman, while attempting to save her father during a Category 5 hurricane, finds herself trapped in a flooding house and must fight for her life against alligators.
Which I lived in Florida.
Yeah.
I was also a swimmer, but that's just a side note. But I lived in Florida. And there's a lot of things that didn't really make any sense.
Well, can I throw one here? Is why was absolutely every alligator exactly the same size?
Yeah.
I mean, exactly the same size. This is something that I have noticed is that...
It's like if you look at a group of Hell's Angels, they're kind of roughly the same size, aren't they? I mean...
Well, what was it that Hunter S. Thompson said about the Hell's Angels? Individually, that they can be pretty nice people, but you put them all together and hell, they're the Hell's Angels, right? And then they beat the hell out of him. So there you go.
There you go. Well, they didn't act like alligators at all. I mean, and there was an explanation why they were crazy. Like, they weren't acting normal. Like, alligators are afraid of people, first of all.
Yeah.
They really don't want to mess with people.
Oh, well, there you go.
They run the away. Yeah. And like, unless you like step on their head by accident or something, or like hit them with an oar with your boat, maybe they might get pissed off, but they generally don't attack people.
Well,
I mean, maybe a small baby like splashing it on the shore maybe might be attractive,
right?
But that's like just a little bite-sized morsel.
Gotcha.
But I'm saying,
I've never been around alligators, and even I knew that these alligators wasn't alligators.
Well, when I lived in Tallahassee, for example, I had a friend who came into work one day. It was like, sorry, I was late because there was a damn alligator on my porch. I had to get the broom and just sweep it, tell it to go away. And then I saw one walking down my street one time, walking down the street, and it was, I mean, they're small. They're pretty small out there. And then the fact that this was in Gainesville, which isn't far from Tallahassee.
I
don't think there's any levee anywhere. And then also, it doesn't really make sense how people were acting about the hurricane, because they really don't freak out about it.
Here's the thing. These were Serbian. Were Serbian.
When a hurricane comes through Florida,
alligators. You knew that, right?
They got one thing kind of right. It's like, oh yeah, it's a hurricane, whatever, dude. I'm gonna go. But there were dialogue that didn't, like, why are you doing this? It's dangerous out there. I'm like, nobody would say that. They would say, it's kind of like Californian earthquakes. It's like people don't really freak out about hurricanes.
Yeah.
Unless they see their car floating away, then they might go, oh shit, maybe I should go inside.
No. See, but I love California earthquakes. I love the fact that and I know people get killed and all the rest of that, but the thing about an earthquake is that there isn't any warning about it.
There's a lot of warnings for hurricanes.
You know, there was. I told the story before. We were having a New Line Cinema meeting. I don't think it was.
I think you told me this one.
Yeah, we were having this meeting,
people from New York,
and the people from the New York office came in. So we had the West Coast office and the East Coast office were both together in this huge room, and we had just a real good rattler. One of the big rolling style ones, and you could definitely tell 100% who was California, who was a Californian, and who was from the East Coast, because the Californians had all reached out and grabbed their cups of coffee and lifted them up off the table,
right,
so that it doesn't splash around. Because that's like that's
the worst thing that could happen.
I mean, come on, and all the people from the East Coast were under the table, which which I guess
right.
I guess I can understand, but so the thing is, you had a lot of, if you were actually at that meeting and you were one of the ones under the table, you'd see all these people that holding their cups looking underneath.
Yeah, I'd be pissed off that my coffee spilled and I was under the table. It'd be twice as embarrassing.
Exactly, right? There's coffee all over the place.
I do have to correct
You know
one
what? You
thing.
have a certain responsibility.
Absolutely.
Because you know what? Your scripts.
If you're a self-respecting...
There are scripts on the table.
If you're working a film and you respect yourself, you protect the coffee over anything, right?
Exactly, right. I mean...
Which that's one complaint I had about Vengeance. Working on that movie, the caterer didn't hook us up with coffee until like the second or third day, and I'm like, what is happening? What kind of place is this? Anyway, that was my only problem.
Yeah, that was your only problem.
Yeah, my only problem.
You know what?
Just one little tiny thing.
You're a mensch.
But I held the door open. I held the door for him. So technically, I was an assistant caterer for a while because I held the door open for him while he carried stuff in.
You realize that within a couple of years, you're going to have done absolutely everything on this film.
Basically. Oh, well, I do want to go back to correct myself. In Florida, yes, people do leave and freak out about hurricanes, but they wait till it's like, oh, it's actually coming towards us, and then we'll go.
Till the last possible minute,
but
right?
I've been like, I don't know, when I first moved there was a tropical storm the week I moved there.
Yeah.
And I remember I was like hiding in a closet that first week. And then like by the time I moved from Florida, I was like, oh, Hurricane Katrina, it might come. I live in Panama City Beach right now. It might come towards us or it might go towards New Orleans. I'm like, just wait for a while. That was my attitude.
My son, who was a dyed in the wool, born in California.
Yeah.
I remember one time I got up at 6 a.m. There's an earthquake.
This is gonna be good, I can tell.
I got up at 6 a.m. and I went back out to see. I always had this thing that I went and made sure that the water was still on, right? So I went down and flushed the toilet.
Right.
And turned around and walk back to the room, and there at the end of the hall is my son, who was like 8 at the time, I think, and he's standing on the he had one of those little trampolines right in the bedroom, and he's standing. I'd see him standing on the trampoline like a surfer, like like this, right? And I was like, what are you doing? He goes, it's an earthquake.
Yeah. He's waiting for the next earthquake.
He's waiting for the next earthquake on the trampoline. I thought,
that's actually pretty smart, I think. Be kind of fun.
Yeah.
See,
California.
I'm different.
Californians.
I'm a different kind of teenager. I would be laying on top of a girl waiting for the next earthquake. I don't know where that came from. Anyway.
So when she says the earth moved, she really wasn't talking about you.
I really am that lazy, actually.
Yeah,
it's a reason to live in California.
Pretty lazy. It's pretty lazy. So anyway, this film went on forever. I mean, we were too long trapped underneath that house.
It was all under the house, pretty much.
Yeah, it was all under. It was all pretty much under the house.
I've never seen a house built like that where there's like a giant set of stairs going into a huge crawl space that looks like a basement.
Well, what was really weird is that crawl space was in the garage. I mean,
it was confusing.
See, that I didn't get that because that,
and it was 3 times as long as the house was.
Right.
But it was a maze.
It was like the freeway of basements. It's like a 4-lane basement easily. 8-lane, 36-lane basement. Yeah.
One thing I liked is there was some. I mean, I did like the obstacles that they put up, like wires and stuff that were an issue kind of sometimes. And
right. Well,
pipes that
or
didn't
that
make any
kinda,
sense.
Yeah, kind of that kind of made it.
Whoever did the plumbing did a horrible job, and the electrician, God, fire that guy.
God, no kidding, really. It was like spaghetti down there. I'm spaghetti. But you have to say that at least they got to talk everything out underneath the basement in the middle of a storm. They got down to the deep psychological
had a falling out
issues.
with your daughter, and you're surrounded by killer alligators. You're probably going to talk things out a little bit. This would have been better. They should have placed this in southern Florida, right on the maybe Miami or someplace. But have sharks. I would have liked this better with sharks because it would make more sense.
Rennie Harlan already made that film. where the sharks like went down the hallways and stuff, and
right.
Like that
was actually pretty cool.
Yeah. Hello. Land shark. Land shark.
Right. I'm thinking of Candygram.
Candygram. There's a shark at the door again. Sharks and Mormons and Jehovah's Witnesses. Oh my God.
This had a really strong shower door in it too.
Yeah.
Which we saw in the trailer. We saw in the trailer, so I feel like I could mention it. I don't want to ruin this movie for anybody, but
this movie ruins itself.
But there was a really strong. I want to know who makes that shower door because.
I was honestly, God, I was thinking about that. And you know how I always say that you could take 20 minutes out of a film, and I could take 20 minutes out of any film and make it better. I could take an hour of this one.
Yeah. Oh, this would be great as like a short film.
It would.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm not a fan of digital storms and. There's a lot of digital storm and
there was a lot of digital storm, but basically most of the thing was
and the palm trees just looked off.
It was obviously filmed in a tank. I mean,
very very clear water,
like a pool or something like that.
Wasn't it hard to shoot in a tank and make it look like a lake or like a? Because you get that reflection, don't you? Like from underneath.
No,
it's like clear, you know what I mean? Like the water's more clear, so you get reflection off the shore.
Well, you line them in black, and then you kind of go from there. But obviously it was. You'd
almost have to line the actor with black. It was built, you know what I mean? Because you can see their clothes.
It was built on some kind of stage, and because that whole area was pretty obviously a set.
Yeah.
So maybe they went to a reservoir that's a Serbian reservoir and filled it up and pumped it. I personally have been in many movie tanks. Mm-hmm. It's a thing that you could get, but dealing with water sucks.
Oh God!
As a filmmaker, man, just sucks. Just try and make a tank that's big enough to film in.
Well, look at James Cameron. I mean,
damn.
That was a big tank.
That's a huge tank. Huge tank. But otherwise,
the smartest. There was one character that was really smart in this, and he had 4 legs.
Smart because he was just trying to get the fuck out of there. Let me out of here.
Just like any horror movie, I mean, I can't really fault it for this very much, but it did have stupid decisions that were made. But I mean, that's like every horror movie. So, but there was one major decision that was like didn't make any sense. But
I agree.
This would have been better as a comedy, I think, if they would have.
See now
made
that
it more fun.
I could go for.
Like have rubber legs and stuff. I would have enjoyed that a lot more. And maybe a shark shows up. Why not?
Yeah, the alligators didn't look bad. I mean,
no, they actually look pretty good.
They were pretty good and fairly convincing.
I like
and
the growls.
Some of the makeup effects were all right. The problem is I was just claustrophobic.
Yeah.
Being in one place all the time and trying to figure out, especially when they were up against that ornamental brick, which, believe me,
you could just break away.
You can break it away. And then he takes up a brick. He has a brick. Right? And he uses it to hit the alligator at some point.
He had other tools too.
And he had other tools. And you think, well, why didn't you just take it? Because those brick break so easily. So anyway.
I like the growls though. Let's see if I can do it.
Oh, it was actually pretty good. Yeah.
I don't think they really sound like that either.
Well, I'm going to do you one better.
Oh my god.
Yeah, not bad, huh?
That was scary. Yours had a little bit more.
Yeah, a little. It was from the heart.
It had more depth in it.
Yeah, that's true.
What would you rate this?
Oh, I really didn't enjoy myself at all.
I'm kind of at like a low, like 2.2.
Yeah, honestly, I'm gonna give this a 1.5.
Oh, as always,
because I didn't even like the actors. There was no actor. I mean, really. By the time we got halfway through this film, I was rooting for the Gators, man.
Well, one of the actors, I was trying to place the actor Barry Pepper.
Oh, Dave, that's yeah.
But I've seen him in other things, and I was confusing with the different where I placed this guy. But anyway, okay. So he's done stuff like Saving Private Ryan and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, he was
Green Mile.
It's the funny thing is he was actually one of the more experienced actors there.
And I was getting distracted. I was sitting there. I was bored, I guess, because I was like, what have I seen that guy? And let me think. Like,
you're listening to it. You know that you're watching something.
He was really good in the Kennedys. I did see that miniseries.
Oh, really?
That's a good miniseries if you're into like, American history and.
I am into American history, and I still don't want to see it.
Yeah, that was weird.
My headphones are going.
Yeah.
Okay, so
it feels like you're underwater, doesn't it?
So both of us really didn't like this, and
well, I was at a 1 for the first 5 minutes because I was like, oh,
yeah,
this doesn't make this is stupid. They didn't do any research on anything.
Yeah,
and then I there were some things I liked, but really it's just it didn't get any better than 2.2.
You know what? I
liked how the car floated away. That was my favorite part. So that's about it.
That's a pretty low bar. That is a low bar, my friend.
Right. Well, that's the best I can do.
Okay. Well, I'm going to call this one Gator Feed.
Thanks for joining us on the Dream Warrior Review podcast. Don't forget to tell your friends about us, follow us, and, of course, like us. We can be found on Podbean, which is an amazing app, YouTube, Stitcher, Alexa on any pod, iTunes, Google Play. We're on Twitter as well, at DW Review, and, of course, Facebook. You can find us there. You can also email us at dreamwarriorreview@gmail.com.